It's Platt, and today we keep it in Vegas. That's next on Platt's Beer of the Week. So the particular beer we have today comes to us from Big Dog Brewing, based here in Las Vegas. It is their Peace, Love, and Hoppiness Pale Ale. First of all, I want to say, hopefully y'all notice I got a new microphone. Hopefully the sound's a little bit better. Maybe you need to adjust the audio. I probably come in a little clearer now. But I told you I was going to eventually get this fixed. All right, let's start with Big Dogs, a little of their background. The story of Big Dog starts all the way back in 1993 on the Las Vegas Strip at a place called Holy Cow Casino and Brewing. That was the first iteration. Oddly enough, in 1993, we're not talking about 1953, 1993, right as the internet's beginning to be a thing, Las Vegas and Southern Nevada specifically gets their first brewery. It was Big Dogs. There was no breweries out here until 1993, amazingly enough. It was located right across from the old Sahara on the corner of Sahara and Las Vegas Boulevard on the far north end of the Strip. Unfortunately for them and for the rest of the world, but when 9/11 occurred, really slowed things down here, and they ended up shutting their doors in 2002. But like a phoenix rising from the ashes, they reopened the next year in 2003 in their current location, which is about 8 miles northwest of downtown, so it's not a short trip from the resort corridor, but not too far either. They are near the Santa Fe Station Casino, which is a local casino out here. Big Dogs is a Wisconsin/Packer themed bar. We have a lot of transplants out here, so if you're a Packer fan, that's where you'd go to watch the games. Very Midwestern, a lot of wood, a lot of fishing and hunting kind of stuff on the wall. Their menu reflects it, pizzas, brats, walleye. You can actually get walleye in the desert. Also, too, Big Dog's is kind of unique from other bars here in town. If you go to a standard pub off the Strip, they're going to have 15 machines. That's kind of the standard license. But they were grandfathered in for some reason, and they have 35 machines, including, I believe, some stand-up machines, which you don't see in local places. It's a huge facility. They also have banquet halls and dining rooms and a separate tap room, and then their main bar, which has all the video poker machines. Really a massive place, a big patio out front, which doesn't get used obviously in the summer, but the rest of the year is kind of a cool vibe. Now, one of the things they also do at Big Dogs, which is kind of cool, is they do seasonal beer festivals 4 times a year. During each season has a different theme, and probably the most popular one, the one that really people like, is Dogtoberfest. Just happened, a few weeks back here. It's a dog-themed beer festival, which is great if you've ever been to those. I mean, people love dogs, people love beer. But why not? It works. And Big Dogs is dog-friendly all the time anyway. It's called Big Dog, for goodness sakes. Another thing they used to do, and I think it stopped during COVID, hopefully it comes back, but I got to do a brewing class there where you spent the whole day at the brewery going through a batch of beer on their 15-barrel systems. I think a lot of breweries should try that, because if you let people experience that in person, I mean, you're gonna have them hooked. And they did a real nice one. You had a dinner with beer pairings. It was a really cool experience. Let's jump into some of their beers. They have a decent line of beers, nothing too huge. They don't get too experimental, but they just execute each beer kind of straightforward. They have a stout, a blonde, porters, what have you, down the line. Let's start with their Black Lab Stout, 5.1% ABV. This beer is made with 9 different malts and roasted barley, so fairly complex mash bill for a kind of straightforward beer. Next is their Red Hydrant Brown Ale, 5.6% ABV. This is their flagship beer, by far the most popular beer, and it won gold at the Great American Beer Fest back in 2015. Lastly, we have the Violent Violet. Hopefully that came out right. 8% ABV. This is a double hazy IPA made with real blueberries, and it's a collaboration brew with Public Coast Brewing up in Oregon. And they've done 1 or 2, but they don't do a ton of these, so this is kind of a unique beer if you get a chance to get your hands on it. Well, before we try this particular beer, though, let's check out the stats. Okay, before we try this beer, time for questions for Platt. I've told you that if you have a question you want me to answer in a video, please send it to plattsboozblog@gmail.com, and in the subject line put questions for Platt. Today's question comes from Johnny Johnson, and he asked a question related to one of my homemade wine videos, whatever, and he wanted to use apple juice instead. He asked, what brand of apple juice do you recommend? Here's my recommendation on juices. All you're really worried about is reading the ingredients and seeing if there are any preservatives. That's what you're really worried about. Now, you may think, well, this brand name, it has to be better than this store-bought name. I want to challenge you to do a little homework. Next time you're in the fruit juice aisle, look at the back label, the ingredients on that name brand juice, and then read the label, the store brand juice. And you're going to see they generally read the same. And that's because a lot of times this company is making their store brand juice. The price difference is because of marketing. The store brand juice, there's no ads, there's no commercials or anything like that. There's no sales or support staff, where the name brand juice has that. That's the cost difference. But as far as quality, you'll find they're pretty much the same thing. Now, if you do want organic juice, hand squeezed by virgins or something like that, and want to go to a place like Whole Foods, that's your prerogative. But as far as for home brewing purposes, if you're just wanting to make some apple cider or, again, some homemade, grape wine or something like that, no need to spend those extra dollars for a name brand when it's probably the same juice. And to be honest, they're probably getting their apples for juicing from the same farms. And I hate to tell you this, a lot of the juice in your store, apple juice especially, is China. It's from China. I'm just I was amazed until somebody pointed that out to me, that they import a lot of apple juice here to the U.S. So no need to pony up at the store the extra 50 cents or whatever, $1 it is for the brand, name brand compared to the store brand. Just look for preservatives. All right, enough about that. I think I've earned a beer. All right, we got a nice kind of deep gold, plenty of bubbles, about half a finger width of white foam. No, I don't see any real khaki to it. Oh, a nice little hop punch in the nose, nothing too over the top. Yeah, you get that kind of just mild dankiness, kind of your classic West Coast nose to it. I'm not 100% sure the hops they put in there. Let's give her a try. Oh my goodness. That's easy drinker. The hops, though, do not come out in the flavor like it does the nose. Like, even though it's not a strong nose, there's hops there, whatever. In the finish, not quite as present. Now, that being said, this would probably be a pale ale. If I was introducing someone to a pale ale, this would be one that would kind of work. If I took someone to a brewery that drank just, Coors, Miller, Bud, whatever, I always talk about getting to blonde ales. Blonde ale, this is not a huge chunk. Now, it has more body to it. You definitely will notice the hops, but it's not too hop aggressive. Like I said, you'll get it on the nose, but not so much in the palate, where I think, again, that Miller Lite, Coors Light drinker that we're trying to get into craft beer, I think this is something their palate could handle. Wouldn't get beaten up. Yeah, nice bit of maltiness to it. I start to get, like I said, if we're coming from like a blonde ale, I'm starting to get a little more malt complexity. I'm starting to pick up some of that like toffee notes that we get with just the slightly darker malts. That's starting to come through, but just a little bit. And again, this to me just tastes like something that would be a great pale ale introduction. If, again, trying to move people out. Really nice beer. If you are a true IPA guy or someone that really likes hops, may not be enough for you. But again, I think for the newbie, I think this might be a good introduction pale ale. Well, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please subscribe down below. Also, please like the video because it lets YouTube know we're putting out good content. If you have any questions, comments, or other concerns, please leave them in the comment section, or you can always contact me on the Twitter page. Well, until next time, bottoms up.